Hello, welcome. So glad you're here, and thank you for being here at R&R Guided Relaxation. Today's class is about surrendering. The definition of surrender means to stop resisting an enemy and give in to their authority. In a spiritual sense, surrender is when we give up our own will and give in to God, Goddess, Mother Earth, some power greater than ourselves, or even just giving in to what is. Surrender refers to when we accept how things are and we stop fighting it. One example that comes to mind is when you're waiting for a package to arrive and the tracking app tells you that it's going to arrive today, but it's not here. You can either keep waiting by the door, watching outside, wasting time, getting upset at the delivery company for not delivering what they've promised, or calling the shipping company frantically, none of which will actually bring your package to you now and will only increase your frustration. Or you can release yourself from getting upset or stressed about it. Of course, that's just one small example, but there are bigger ones. Surrendering to the idea that we are aging, for example, or that someone we love is gone. Surrendering doesn't mean we like it, but it means we stop fighting something so that we can allow our internal resources to be used in places where they really can make a difference. Surrendering takes the responsibility away from us and can tame the suffering and exhaustion that goes along with fighting. And for many of us, that can be the one piece that is missing. So today's R&R class is all about surrendering to what is here now. So I'd invite you to get comfortable, to find a place where you can let yourself be you. And if you like, close your eyes. Or you can keep your eyes open, but just let your eye muscles relax. Notice how effortlessly your breath moves without resistance or restriction. The breath flows in and out without restriction, as the air and space around you releases the oxygen to you. And without restriction, as your own body lets go of any old, stale air that it no longer needs. Imagine your breath slowing down and deepening. Now, check in with your body. Notice what your body feels like now. What do the muscles feel like? What do the joints feel like? What does your skin feel like? What's the overall feeling in your body? Without judging it or yourself, what does it feel like to look at yourself? Perhaps in a mirror, up close or far away? What does your body have to tell you about its journey? Now, checking in with your mind, your thoughts. What sort of things are you thinking about? How are your thoughts moving? Are they moving slowly, quickly, or at a moderate pace? Are your thoughts positive to you, negative, or neutral? What do your thoughts have to tell you about your journey? How are you feeling emotionally right now? What are your emotions like? What do your emotions tell you about your journey? Now, as you continue to allow yourself to breathe and to just be aware of your physical body, your mind, and your emotions, I'd like you to think of a time when you just let yourself go. For example, I can remember being 12 years old, riding my bike outside and going to the very top of a hill that I'd been afraid of going down before. And I just said to myself, what have I got to lose? I'm going to try it. And I just let go of the pedals of the bike and coasted down the hill. Maybe there's a time in your life that you can remember like that. Maybe going down a roller coaster, or a time when you decided you were just going to go out on the dance floor and have fun, no matter what other people thought of you. Take a moment to see if you can recall a time when you let yourself go. As you tune into that memory, inviting it into your thoughts, inviting the memory to recreate a feeling. Notice what it feels like in your physical body, in your emotions, as you recall that time. Good. Now, for the remainder of our time together, we're going to do a guided exercise where I'm going to ask you, as best as you can, to practice surrendering. I like to use the imagery of lying down in a canoe or kayak. Now, maybe this is not a comfortable image for you. And so if it's not, I'd perhaps ask you to imagine yourself lying back on a magic carpet instead that floats gently above the earth. But if that imagery of floating in a canoe or kayak works for you, I'd like you to imagine a very shallow stream, just deep enough to support you and your canoe or kayak. Imagine that this stream meanders, it curves, it has stretches of long periods of straightness and peacefulness and then areas where the ride feels more bumpy and curvy. Using your imagination now, I'd invite you to imagine sitting or lying down in this kayak or canoe, and setting your oar or paddle aside and just letting the craft carry you. Notice how the craft sometimes goes a little bit off course, but then the stream pulls it right back in so that you never stray far from the center of this stream. If you let yourself look up ahead, imagine that you see a fairly large rock coming towards you. And even though you might have an urge to pick up the paddle or oar and move yourself around the rock, instinctively you just let yourself glide with the canoe or kayak. And notice right before you're going to hit this stone that the kayak or canoe just veers out of the way, moving along with the flow of the stream, keeping you safe. And within seconds, you're back to the center of the stream. Notice yourself curving to the left and curving to the right and curving to the left again. Notice the stream moving up a hill and down a hill, and you stay centered. You don't fall out of the canoe. Your canoe or kayak doesn't lose its way. It just keeps moving steadily. Imagine now that the canoe or kayak is starting to speed up very gradually. Perhaps the wind is picking up or the land is sloping in such a way that your craft is being led to speed up. And again, even though you might have the urge to pick up a paddle, an oar, or you might notice a little bit of discomfort or dis-ease, you allow yourself to sit and see what happens. And you might be surprised to notice that nothing happens. You're just moving faster. Before long, your canoe or kayak returns to its original speed and then slows down even more. Notice the most gentle, peaceful boat ride you could ever imagine. You can feel the wind or air movement across the cheeks of your face. Perhaps you can feel the sun's warmth on your skin. And eventually, the craft comes to a peaceful stop, allowing you to stay here and relax, thinking about surrendering if there are things in your life that you could let go of the responsibility for. Or you could choose to transition back to the rest of your day. Either way, I thank you so much for joining me today on this journey of surrendering. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. Namaste.